I'm a little bit confused. In a good way, I think. I've been talking about different ways of working, and that's what the company, Nonconformity Company, is about, especially with the LIFEMASTER program. Been experimenting with waking up at different times. We have a family here, and we're traveling slowly in this adventure van and renting Airbnbs by the month. So I want to spend time with them. I want time to ourselves, time for work, time for health, time for all of these 5 areas: health, work, people, finances, and evolution, those 5 areas of life. Links below for free coaching. For coaching. Coaching's not free, coaching's paid. $333 for a session with me, 90 minutes to go through these areas and rewrite your future. And we also have a free program as well. So those links are below. Had a very good work session on that this morning. But yeah, the point of today's video is I'm a bit confused because I've been waking up sometimes early and sometimes not. And the idea was to wake up at 4 a.m. and to get 3 hours work in with some health stuff and good stuff and work. And I've done that sometimes, and then sometimes I haven't. And what I've noticed is, and this is what I'm pondering today and what I'm a little confused about, is what's best? Is it to go with the flow when you're inspired? Or is it to have fixed, regimented systems in place where you're always doing that at that time? Because I've always struggled with that personally. And I remember when I used to give myself a day off. I used to work a lot, and I'd give myself a day off, and that's when I'd get inspired on other projects, because you're giving yourself permission to kind of switch off. And with the 4 a.m. thing, when it works, it's good, but when it hasn't, it's been like a bit frustrating, because then it kind of then bleeds into the whole day, because then you're a bit tired, because then you've probably snoozed and you haven't done it properly, so you've had this weird sleep, so you haven't even got the advantage of that sleep, and then it impacts your whole day. Because the whole idea of a Life Master philosophy and the 4 a.m. club is to set the state for the whole day, to get some really good stuff done and set your kind of get into this, sort your body out, your mind out, get those going and get your future going. So it impacts your whole day, then that starts to impact your whole life. But I'm just pondering the kind of fixed system or the flexible system, and maybe it's something in between. Because I do, there's something to be said for discipline and showing up at the same time every day, whether that be work or for your relationships or for your fitness, going to the gym every day. If you go to the gym every day, you're going to get results in the end. If you work at a project every day, you're going to start getting results. So is that consistency? So I want that consistency. But the 4 a.m. club, it's been sometimes, I don't know whether it's the full moon, I don't know whether it's I'm detoxing, I don't know whether it's the pillow, but the last few nights I've been like tired, and then I've done a meditation or two, and it's just been loads of stuff coming up in my mind about past and stuff like that. And not bad, not necessarily bad, like some bad, some good, like, and just some okay, like that all happened, and just loads of random scenes. It's been quite wild. And then because you're trying to wake up at 4 a.m., you've got this added pressure. You're like, I must get to sleep. So then that doesn't help either. So, and what I've been doing is trying to finish the templates on the 4 a.m. club. I thought I'd better start with that one. But I've had a bit of a shift today because I didn't get up, and I was like, right, something needs to change. So I think what I've decided to do is have my work session, go back to having it in the morning after breakfast. We can all wake up together still, have some family time, have a leisurely breakfast, get ready. Then I can get 3 hours working in the morning. That's what I've done this morning, and it's been great. I've got so much done. I've been in flow. It's been fantastic. The other thing to add to all this, to put into the mix, is I've been listening to a very interesting book recently about the darkness, and about the introduction of the incandescent light bulb and how it has impacted society. From back in the day when there was candles, even before that, just moonlight or not even any light. People really worked around the light, and if it was in summer, they would eat differently, they would fatten up, they would be awake longer. That was when they would probably more procreate, because women were more fertile in the summer. And in the winter, they'd go with the light, and they would sleep longer. And you'd just go to bed like at dark and be asleep like an hour after dark. And also saying, like, people used to wake up. There was a sleep experiment where he took people now and did this experiment, and people all aligned to this specific sleeping phase of sleeping for 4 hours, waking up for a couple of hours, and then going to bed again for another 3-4 hours. And apparently that's how our ancient ancestors used to sleep before the light. You think about the amount of light now with phones, televisions, digital displays, light bulbs, LEDs. Yeah, in public buildings you go in, and supermarkets now, it affects me more for some reason. And a lot of this stuff isn't too good for us, especially because our hormonal system to get us ready for sleep is all geared towards the light that we see. So if you're looking at your phone late at night, it's tricking your body. Your body is trying to get you ready for sleep. And then that's going to affect, if your hormones aren't all in line and regulated, then that's going to affect you getting to sleep. It's going to affect your sleep. Then it's going to affect your daytime and waking up. And it's all just getting all higgledy-piggledy. So this book's I was going with this 4 a.m. club, then I've been listening to this book, and it's kind of got me thinking, well, even like setting my alarm and looking at the phone and having it on in the morning at that specific time. The last thing this is linked with is a training program that I did many years ago and I've still got. And I didn't do all of it, but there's lots of different things in there. And it's called the Silver Mind Method. And it was really good. And one of them was the waking up alarm clock exercise, where you program your subconscious mind. Did a video about the subconscious mind yesterday. And this is about programming your subconscious mind at night to wake you up around the time, at the perfect time, coming out of the perfect wave of sleep. I used to have an alarm clock called Sleep Cycle, but what that would do is listen to you and sense vibrations. You'd put it on you under your bed, and what you would do is say, wake me up at 6. And then what it would do is it would listen to your cycles and detect what cycles of sleep you're in, and then it would bring you out of that cycle gently in between 5:30 and 6, so up to half an hour before your desired outcome. And that did work really well. You'd notice it would wake you, and you'd just be like, oh yeah, because sometimes sleep's in waves like this, and you don't want to be waking up when you're kind of going more into a deeper phase. You want to be waking when you're coming out into a lighter phase, and that did work. So this Silver Mind method said you can really just train yourself to do that. And I like the idea of that, because then I don't have to program the phone at night. I'm not relying on the phone in the morning. The phone can be away and off. And then I use my subconscious mind to wake me up at that time, and then treat the 4 a.m., 5 a.m., whatever it is, if I as a bonus work session, as a bonus health time, where I can wake up, get some work done, go for a run, do some health stuff, meditation, press ups, whatever it is. And then there's no pressure on that time. And that feels right to me. So I've enjoyed this experimentation. We're just evolving out loud with these videos. We're trying to start 100 startups in a year, which I might have to change to 1,000 days, because the first half of the year, it was just near impossible to do any work. I kept up with these daily videos. So that's what we've been pondering, and that's what I've been confused about just over the last week. But this seems like a good solution, really, because then it locks in that work time in the morning. I can still do some later in the evening and kind of flow with it a bit more, because I do get inspired at different times. So I want to keep that option for inspired work and flow work. When something pops in, then I can whip out the laptop and go. And yeah, I've enjoyed sidestepping from the 4 a.m. club to LIFEMASTER, and really it makes sense to finish the LIFEMASTER. It's on the van, it's at the heart of the company. All of the other startups kind of fit into one of those 5 LIFEMASTER categories. And today I've just had a fantastic session, and it's been really inspiring, sitting there just drinking fizzy water with lemon, silence, laptop and a mouse and a notepad, and loads of tabs opened, 2 windows open, flicking between them all, doing multiple jobs at once, and it all coming together. Got the technical stuff sorted, Stripe stuff sorted, separate Stripe accounts sorted, paywalls, permissions, pages, templates, buttons, color schemes, spacing, SEO, page tags, titles, and it's really good. It's really good. All I've really got to do now is just finalize the content on several of these pages, and then that's LIFEMASTER done. And then the free program will be there for people to begin. The coaching will be there for people to pay for, and then they can book on the Calendly link. And then I'll just add to the free program as I go along. And really, I've just realized it makes sense for it to start with this, because I'm actually needing to do this and do it for me, for this company, for my life. So as I do it, I will then share that in the free program so people can follow along, and then we'll just be building out loud again with this program of what is needed. So I hope that makes sense. We're just We're just going with it. And that's 10 minutes. Goodbye.